Hi, I'm Rick Rheins, Senior Rabbi at Temple Sinai in Denver, Colorado. This week's Torah portion is Shemini, which means the eighth day. It's from chapters 9 through 11 of the book of Leviticus. And what's that eighth day? It's the ordination of Aaron as the Kohen Hagadol, the high priest. And he has a smicha and the celebration of him as this first of the Kohanim to in front of all of Israel. It's a great day, followed in this Torah portion immediately by the tragic deaths of his sons, Nadav and Abihu. And that dominates the first good third to a half of this week's Torah portion. But the second half doesn't seem connected at all. It deals with the dietary laws, the laws of kashrut, the animals and the birds and insects that we can or cannot eat. And I wanted to focus on that because we're just to the conclusion of the 8 days of Passover. I'm recording this on Wednesday night, Wednesday. And so Wednesday night, we have the conclusion of Passover, the eighth day Erev. And then Thursday, we have the concluding day of Passover. So we're still in that period in which we've been watching what we eat. We're not eating chametz. We're not eating the leaven products. We're watching what we drink, making sure that things that are made with grain are not a part of our diet. And so this mindfulness of what we eat has been very much a part of our world for the past 8 days. And so this week's Torah portion sort of speaks to that a little bit, in that it says, here are the things that you can eat, and here's the things that you should not eat. And it mentions the animals that we can eat and not eat. And it says, only eat the animals that have cloven or divided hooves and that chew the cud. When it says chew the cud, it means they are ruminants. They have multi-chambered stomachs, so they can eat grass and grain and process it by chewing the cud. So those things that are seemingly inedible, they can produce nutrition from it. So it also then lists those animals that may chew the cud but don't have cloven hooves, or have the right hooves but don't chew the cud. And they go back and forth. And so it lists those animals which have both the divided hooves and that are ruminant. And specifically, of course, you refer to those that are bovines, the cows and sheep and goats, etc. But it also mentions those other animals and creatures that we can eat. And it talks about birds, and it says the birds of prey. You don't eat the birds of prey, the eagles, the hawks, and the owls, etc. And it mentions fish. The fish need to have both fins and scales. So not everything in the water you can eat, but if it has skin, it has scales and fins, okay, it could be kosher. And if it's a sheretz, if it's one of the swarming creatures, whether it's an insect or a reptile, it also is forbidden. So there's a whole list of those creatures that we can use for food and those creatures that we cannot. And as we read them, this list and consider, now if you keep kosher, it is a part of our lifestyle. And of course, the rabbis, as rabbis do, they added so many extra categories to that list, including special dishes and not mixing meat and milk, etc. But the laws of kashrut, which can be like a mountain suspended by a hair, so the Talmud says, can be overwhelming. And you look at it and you go, well, that's not for me. That's not how I relate to and express my Judaism. That's not how I relate to God. And yet I wanted to express, though it does not make you holy by keeping kosher, though you're not a better Jew if you keep kosher or if you avoid eating pork or shellfish, etc. It does add to your mindfulness. And I think that relates to us specifically in this period of Passover, that normally we eat bread and we can have beverages made from grain, and we have leaven products, and they're a delight. We have challah on Friday night. We'll have challah this coming Friday night because Passover will be over. But during the Passover period, no, we eat only the unleavened bread, the unleavened products. And the purpose of it was to add a mindfulness to recall, yes, Yetziat Mitzrayim, the exodus from Egypt, the movement, the miraculous movement from slavery to freedom, but also it's a sense of self-control, of discipline. What I eat is in my control, and it's an expression of how I wish to live. Now, there are other reasons why we have self-control with what we eat and drink, whether it's for health. Some people have to be gluten-free, or some people are allergic to certain foods. Certainly, alcohol has to be limited or eliminated in certain cases because of what it does to your body. That mindfulness is quite understandable. The Torah brings it to another level as well. It says, "L'chavdil bein hatameh v'hatahor." You can also learn through your discipline how to differentiate between those things which are inappropriate and those that are appropriate, those things that are correct and good. That is in our discipline. That is also something that requires each individual to determine. The Torah just says that you should just not limit that to the affairs of interaction, social interaction, but also you can bring that sense of differentiation, of discipline, of mindfulness to the food that we eat. So as we conclude Passover Thursday night, you can start having chametz again, and we then move into the regular parts of the week. We recall, you know what, during Passover it wasn't such a bad deal. Okay, we could survive on matzah and unleavened products for a week. That discipline was within us. And I think that throughout the year, we can think also about those foods that we eat, foods that we don't eat, and say, that decision is mine. And it's an expression of my connection with my Jewish faith and with God. Shabbat Shalom.